Rachel Zegler.
Cool. It's showtime, baby.
Ooh, daily placeholder.
That's the name of our show because we forgot to name it. Actually, no, never mind. Because I was thinking of a name the other day at work, but I realized it didn't really fit this show specifically. It was, oh no, I can't remember right now. It doesn't matter because I decided against it.
I know we already made the shirts, so it's kind of late to go back on it now.
That's you know what? This episode we're trying to find the name for our show.
Yep. We're finally doing it.
We're finally getting around to naming our show. But at this show, the two of us, we talk about news of pop culture, but really just the stuff that we're interested in. Not music, ever. Unless, like, a new Jeremy Renner
Well, of course.
album comes out, or maybe, like, a Venom kind of a song.
Do you think they could get Eminem to do another song? Because
I'm sure they could.
I never saw him react. Like, does he know that the first one was considered a joke?
I don't think so.
Is he aware? Or does he think that that's the coolest song he's done?
I don't know if he thinks it's the coolest song, but he thinks that it's a good song.
Well, you see the music video, and he's like, yeah, I got devil horns, and I look all cool.
And I'm like, everyone's faces are shaking or something. What a great movie that was.
What a great song. Will he just do the same song again, but try to add carnage to the lyrics?
Yes, but he'll just replace the word Venom with carnage.
Gotta hit him with that carnage.
Carnage!
I think it could work.
Let there be carnage!
Imagine a world, and imagine I have a black and white filter on me.
I'll put a black and white filter over you.
Thank you.
So just restart the whole thing.
Imagine a world where there was no Twilight Zone. It would be a very horrible world, since a lot of things take from the original Twilight Zone. But this isn't about the good one.
No. Well, the mostly good one.
Yeah. The Twilight Zone, the current one, hosted and produced by Jordan Peele.
Love that man.
Has been canceled after 2 seasons. Which is very funny to me personally, because I hated the first season. There was like maybe 1-2 good episodes.
Yes.
And then the second season is where it actually got good. And that's the one where they're like, you know what? No. Let's just end it. But this also might be like since they're transitioning to Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
Maybe they just maybe there's a licensing issue there. Who knows? It's kind of a shame because they were getting better, but also breaking incoming for real news.
Well, this is not clickbait at all whatsoever. And also, we just heard about it just now. This just in.
It's the same piece of news that I just read you, but I like the way that it is worded.
Okay.
And this comes to trusted news source, Cosmic Book News.
I think this is the most vaguely defined segment we have on this show.
It says Jordan Peele's The Twilight Zone.
Yes.
Finally canceled. Like they were waiting for it.
Who wrote that? Does it say?
No.
Okay. Well, whoever wrote that does not like this new Twilight Zone.
I don't think enough people watched it to hate it. Like, as far as I'm concerned, I'm the only one who watched it, both seasons, all the way through.
I didn't watch any of it. I think I've only... Actually, I've never seen any Twilight Zone.
Well, you should.
I've seen a couple episodes of Black Mirror.
That's different.
Which, I mean, yeah, it's different.
Not as good.
But it's the same kind of thing. I also watched a couple episodes of Love, Death, and Robots.
Also a different thing.
Yeah, that's more different. Shazegler.
Sounds kind of like a slur.
Moving on. Rachel Zegler has been cast in a key role in Shazam! Fury of the Gods.
I forgot that was the title of this movie, so...
My girlfriend told me she's a YouTuber.
Is she really? I thought she was an actor.
She's going to be in West Side Story.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay, yeah.
Let's find out. You know what? Because I don't really trust her that much to really know anything about pop culture.
Well, you know, once I was watching the first Shazam, I was like, you know what this movie's missing? YouTubers.
Rachel Zegler.
I mean, anyone can be a YouTuber.
Okay, yeah, she's a YouTuber with almost 200,000 subscribers.
Little loser.
All right. So when you type in Rachel Zegler, oh, that's an S. My bad. The first things that come up are West Side Story, Shallow, Queen, Shrek, Still Hurting, Antonio Cipriano, which is probably some kind of collab that she did. I Feel Pretty, What Baking Can Do, and Anyway.
So does that mean she's in the hit Amy Schumer movie, I Feel Pretty?
Oh. Let's Bing it.
Everyone's favorite movie.
My phone's at 7%. We're flying on the seat of our pants. It's at 6%.
Will it die out by the time we get to it?
Search. Come on. You got this.
You can do it, totally, Bing.
And not IMDb app.
No.
Rachel Zegler.
I have a feeling this is going to die before it gets to the answer, but
It's not at 5% yet.
this is the suspense that you watch it for.
Well, the only two movies that she's known for are West Side Story and Shazam! Fury of the Gods.
So never mind. Unless she scrubbed that from her record. I would.
Yeah, she hasn't been in anything else, movie-wise.
So,
That's crazy. Good for her, actually. I mean, unless she sucks, because
Yeah.
I don't know anything about her. But just from the premise of being a YouTuber and then just having a Hollywood career now.
I mean, I thought she was an established actor, so my first guess was going
No.
to be she's going to be like an actual, like, play a god or something, but she's
I mean,
probably
she
going to
still
be...
might.
Well, I'd imagine she's probably going to be like the Mary's best friend or something.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Well, she's casting a key role, though, which could mean anything. She could be that raccoon that's on the poster for Shazam! Fury of the Gods.
Didn't I say that was fake?
I have no idea. Maybe they did.
Because wasn't that the same poster where Sinbad was on it?
Was he on
I
that?
feel like it was Sinbad.
I don't know. I don't remember. It was a kind of a fake poster, just a thing that the crew put together when they did that DC Fandom thing, which was kind of like DC's virtual Comic-Con.
That happened exactly 100 years ago.
Yeah, to this day actually. This is the 100th anniversary of DC Fandom.
Remember when all those people are in those big empty spaces saying, "Look at this thing." Good times.
I didn't watch it. I just because I was actually at work when it was happening, so I was just kind of keeping up with it on Twitter whenever I could.
Finally, the Daily Placeholder is doing the real news that matters.
Yes,
Gamer news.
that's the new show title.
Gamer news.
Gamer news, spelled Gaymer. But neither of us are gay.
No. But we are gamers.
But we are gamers.
Well, I'm not, but
Okay.
I'm as bad as casual as you can get. I don't actively seek out a game. I buy them and play them. But most of the time I just play them while I listen to something else, and I don't
Well, you
pay
and
attention to the story.
you and I have been every once in a while playing Broforce together. Playing through that, and then after that we'll play Borderlands, I guess.
Broderlands.
Ah!
Anyway, the big news is from a Pokemon Direct that they released, is that first off, we're getting a remake of the Diamond and Pearl video games from 2008 or 7, I believe.
Don't look at. I know nothing about
Yeah,
Pokemon except
I do.
for I watched Detective Pikachu.
Which everyone has been wanting. That's my personal favorite era, and I have played the original game, and I do still own it, and it is very good. So I'm excited to play this. And then the bigger news is the thing that everyone's always been wanting, is that they're making a fully open world Pokemon game.
Oh yeah, it looks like Breath of the Wild.
Yes.
I've seen pictures on Twitter.
And it's set in a feudal era, so instead of fancy new shiny Pokeballs, you have older, weirder looking Pokeballs.
Interesting.
And they might have a feature in that game where a Pokemon can actually beat the player up, which is very exciting.
Now I'm interested.
Because there's a dodge mechanic.
If I can get beaten by a Machamp, then that's what a video game is all about.
And the full title is Pokemon Legends Arceus. I probably didn't say that right.
What's that last word? Arceus?
That's the god.
Arceus?
That's God.
Oh, that's the
Arceus.
horse, isn't it?
Yeah, the horse-looking thing. That's the god of Pokemon.
For some reason, see, I said I don't know anything about Pokemon, but that's a lie, because I know about, like, the actual Pokemon themselves, just not any of the games, or shows, or movies.
Yeah, but I do.
But he does.
And the fun thing is that Arceus is God, but he's not the first Pokemon. Mew's the first Pokemon.
Mew is the first, and then there's Mewtwo, who's a clone of Mew.
So this is a real chicken and the egg situation. Is Mew God because he came first? Or is Arceus God because he's literally God? But anyway, you'll get to beat up God, which, is what I've always wanted to do in a video game, specifically Pokemon.
Remember that episode of Rick and Morty where he fights Zeus in space?
And now they're doing, what is that mythology called? Greek mythology. They're doing a Greek mythology show. Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland.
Yeah, good for them.
Which that's been in like a lot of Rick and Morty actually, because they did the heist episode. Yeah. And Hephaestus was there from the Greek gods.
Yeah.
And he was just a part of their heist team.
I guess Harmon and Roiland just like Greek mythology, which is fair. They read their Percy Jackson.
Yeah.
All right. Oh man, I can already see a typo on this, but that's okay.
Read it.
This is our segment, Developmental Achievements, where we talk about things that are now in development and our achievements. Blue Beetle film is in the works. That's just saw another one, because I wrote a Blue Beetle film, if in the works, at DC.
Could still be in the works, possibly, maybe.
Directed by Angel Manuel Soto. Do you recognize him? I don't.
I think he's done more TV, I think. I don't think he's had a big movie yet. I don't believe so.
I'm not going to look it up because I don't care. Cool. It's going to be Jaime Reyes Blue Beetle as well, which is the younger Hispanic one. Yeah, he's Hispanic, right?
Yeah.
I hope Ted Cord, who's the older white one, shows up as kind of like a mentor.
I mean, he doesn't have to be white.
Yes, but in the comics he is white.
Yeah.
I didn't say that to mean that I specifically want somebody white in the movie.
I just want him because I think his costume's cool and I like the mentor.
Yeah, I like the mentor aspect.
Plus, if you have Ted Cord Blue Beetle, then you get Booster Gold.
Yes.
But Booster Gold could also be Jaime Reyes' mentor.
Or I wouldn't want him as a mentor. He kind of sucks.
Well, they did that in the Injustice 2 comic books.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
It'll probably be good. I mean,
these DC movies are shaping up lately.
Well,
I liked Wonder Woman 1984, but I'll never watch it again.
No.
Shazam
and Birds of Prey are good.
Yes. Aquaman is fine.
Aquaman happened.
And I like most of Man of Steel and Batman v Superman.
I hate them both. And
That's
everyone saying restore the Snyderverse, jump in a pit and die.
I don't want them to restore the Snyderverse. I think this Justice League Snyder Cut is the end of Snyderverse, and it can die. Like, it had its moment in the sun, but now...
And by sun, you mean a deep, 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 dark pit.
Sure. And they, now they're, like, big, flashy, colorful comic book movies are shaping up to be better.
Hopefully.
District 10 is in development by Neil Blomkamp, Shalter Copley, and Terry Tatchell. It's a sequel to the movie District 9 by the same creative team. That's a really good movie. I'm really excited for this.
They really spent a lot of time on that title.
What else are you going to call it?
District 9 2 Independence Day Resurgence.
Call it Shooty Shooty Shrimps.
Yep.
Triple S, that's what I would call it. That's what people would abbreviate it to.
They're prawns, so it would be Shooty Shooty
prawns. I forgot they're prawns. Everyone watch Auntie Donna's Big Ol' House of Fun. And if you watch it all the way through, you'll know why, eventually, why I brought it up in the context of District 9.
South Africans?
Yes. And then also a Superman movie is in development with Ta-Nehisi Coates writing and J.J. Abrams producing. And they are looking for a black actor to play Superman. And in talks are Michael B. Jordan and John Boyega.
It's a tough choice.
I definitely prefer Jordan, just because Boyega, to me, is sort of like a safe actor. I don't know. I don't know how to explain how I feel about John Boyega. He's not my go-to for anything, really. But I don't, like, dislike him.
I feel maybe it's just because I've seen a lot of like fan images of it that like Michael B. Jordan seems more like the better fit.
Yeah.
Nothing against John Boyega.
Maybe just those Star Wars movies kind of ruined him for me, especially the last one. But it's not his fault at all.
No.
It's the writing, especially of the last one, Rise of Skywalker.
I can legitimately not remember anything he did in the last Star Wars movie.
Besides yell Rey.
Besides
because he
yell
doesn't
Rey.
do anything. And I don't. Hasn't really been in anything else besides that. He was in Pacific Rim 2. But nobody remembers that movie, even if you liked it.
He was in Detroit, maybe?
Oh, he was in Detroit, but I didn't see that. Maybe if I watch that, I'll be like, okay, this guy is a good actor.
It is a good movie. Anthony Mackie's in it, too.
Yes. This movie might be a reboot, but I hope that it's not, and they bring in a guy called Val Zod, who's a black Superman. Do you know anything about Val Zod?
That was from the Earth 2 line of comics, where they were redoing, like, the Justice Society, but for, like, a more modern times. So you had heroes, but they had different origins to better fit in modern times, and, like, some of them were, like, non-Justice Society members, like your Wonder Womans, your Flashes, Superman, and then some were, like, Alan Scott Green Lantern. And they just had let Tom Taylor, who also did the Injustice 2 and Injustice comics.
That's what I know from Tom Taylor's name from.
And they just let him play in this world, like, just do whatever he wanted. And they had to, like, do events and stuff, but for the most part it was just his. And Val Zod, like, Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman in this world died. Like, all of them.
Oh.
They fought Darkseid and lost. They all died.
Oh, dang.
And so then years later, Darkseid comes back and you have new heroes. And they find Val Zod. And he becomes the Superman of this world.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so I hope they just bring in a new guy that is Superman. And just keep this universe rolling, this loosely connected universe at this point. You know,
it could just be a standalone thing. Like, it doesn't have to be connected to anything.
Yeah, like the Batman.
I also hope that J.J. Abrams producing is very, very, very limited.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't think I trust him around superheroes anymore. One, because there's going to be like 20 billion lens flares. And secondly, because he wrote that horrible Spider-Man book with his son.
Yeah. But he's also written a Superman script before, which apparently is bad.
Don't let him do movies, but...
Yeah, you can let him do movies.
Tennessee Coates, he has written good stuff. Like, his Black Panther original run was very good. When I read that, and his Captain America run is very good.
Ta-Nehisi Coates is apparently a good comic writer, but I don't recognize him.
And he's a regular author, too.
Oh, cool. You know what we don't do anymore? How do we lose the fundamental of this show where we smash the paper on the table for no reason? These are dates and delays. Well, there's no delays. These are just dates. For some reason, I don't know what was going on this week, but we have a lot of new dates this week. The Mighty Ducks Game Changers will premiere on March 26th, 2021. I will not watch it. No. Definitively, I will not watch it. The Bad Batch will premiere on May 4th, 2021. I will watch that.
Still have to catch up.
Oh, yeah, because you're watching through the whole Clone Wars. I tried that, and I got about a season and a half in, and I was like, I can't. I can't just churn my way through these bad episodes. MODOK will premiere on May 21st, 2021. That looks fun. Yeah, I'll watch that. Loki will premiere on June 11th, 2021. Of course I'm going to watch that. Monsters at Work will premiere July 2nd. I will give it a chance at least. Maybe I should explain what these are. The Mighty Ducks Game Changers is a sequel show to the Mighty Ducks movies. Okay, The Bad Batch is a spin-off of the Clone Wars. About a bad batch of clones. MODOK is a Robot Chicken-esque animated show, stop motion, about the Marvel villain MODOK. He's got a big head and tiny little arms and legs.
Mental organism designed only for killing.
Or mental organism designed only for kickball, as he is in the Superhero Squad show. It's not in the Marvel universe though. Like the MCU, I mean.
Not yet.
Not yet. Loki is though, and this Loki from Avengers Endgame when he disappeared. Monsters at Work is a sequel show to Monsters Inc. I believe. It's not a prequel. It's not another Monsters Inc. prequel.
It's Monsters High School. We're going farther back.
Oh no. Turner and Hooch, which is a reboot of Turner and Hooch, will premiere on July 16th.
Is that the dog one?
Yes,
No.
the Tom Hanks dog one. But it's not Tom Hanks. It's Josh something. Chippendale Park Life will premiere July 23rd. That's the one...
The Lonely Island one?
Yeah, it's made by the Lonely Island, and it stars Andy Samberg and maybe Bill Hader as Chippendale.
I think that's, yeah.
Something like that.
Or is it John Mulaney?
It's Andy Samberg and John Mulaney as Chippendale. And they're little Disney squirrels.
I think it's live action.
Or chipmunks. Wait, what are they?
They're chipmunks.
Okay, chipmunks. It's not live action, it's animated.
Oh, good.
It's fully 2D animated. I saw a still of it. And finally, the new Spider-Man movie, first of all, has a name. It's called Spider-Man No Way Home. And it's going to release on December 25th, which is Christmas. Wait. Let me double check that. Because...
I don't think it's the 25th.
It says Christmas in the thing.
Well, just because it says Christmas doesn't ever mean
Christmas
it's exactly
is a day.
Christmas. It's a feeling.
Gosh dang it. Alright.
It's a feeling you have inside of your heart.
No Way Home release date.
Why didn't they call it Spider-Man I'll Be Home for Christmas?
Gosh dang it, it's freaking December 17th. Why is it not on actual Christmas? Well, that's another typo that's gonna bother me. And we'll talk about Spider-Man No Way Home more later when we get to trailer trash. Because I have a theory that I'm pretty proud of.
Okay, so you've heard of Disney Plus.
Disney Plus. It's got The Mandalorian, WandaVision, The Mighty Ducks Game Changers.
You've heard of Stargate Plus.
No, I have not. Is that the one where they just have Stargate?
Just Stargate stuff. That was started before streaming services became a thing.
Okay.
Yep. Now there's Paramount Plus. Formerly CBS All Access.
Yes. They're just rebranding it.
So it's a new, rebranded app with more content. Well, kind of.
Kind of like how HBO Go became HBO Max.
So movies distributed by Paramount will be available on Paramount Plus for 45 days after their premieres in theaters.
We should say that there was like a Paramount Plus Direct kind of a thing. Like they just had a... Kind of like what Disney did with their Investor Day, where they're just like, this is everything that's coming to our thing. So buy it, please.
And then the only thing that really matters that they ever said is that Nickelodeon is launching Avatar Studios.
Where they're going to make all of James Cameron's Avatar movies.
Yes.
All about the big blue people.
Everyone's been wanting this.
And their weird, sexy ponytails.
And they're going to fight the Titanic.
No, it's not that.
It's the
but
good
they do
Avatar.
tell many true lies.
Oh yeah, that was James Cameron.
Is that okay? Good. That was a real shot in the dark because I knew what movie I was thinking of, but I didn't know for sure if that was the title.
I think it's like 2 hours and 30 minutes, so it's definitely a James Cameron movie.
Got him in your face, James Cameron.
Make good movies once in a while.
He does. He's made many good. He made the Terminator movies.
Well, he made like 2.
The 2 good ones.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
But he's also making 500 Avatar movies.
Yeah, because the first one was the highest grossing movie of all time until Avengers Endgame beat it.
For some unexplainable reason.
I mean, yeah, but like you still were the highest grossing movie, not based on anything either. Fully original movie. So why not make 1 billion sequels?
Because there's only so much you can do with the blue cat people. Unless you introduce an orange cat person.
That's it. It's
Garfield. Then you'll have something.
It's like in Rick and Morty where you have the Mr. Meeseeks and then you have the Kirkland Mr. Meeseeks, which is like the great value kind of budget Mr. Meeseeks.
Now give us more bad rip-off Avatar movies. That's what we really need.
We keep forgetting.
Anyway, back to what was originally said.
The crux of this show. Yeah.
Nickelodeon is launching Avatar Studios, which will develop multiple series and films based on Avatar: The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra, presumably.
Oh, I see where I went wrong.
Michael DiMartino and Brian
Konietzko, I would assume.
will run the studio, and those are the original co-creators of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yes. So they went to Netflix and they're like, "Hey, can we do this?" And they're like, "No." So they're like, "You know what? Screw you!" And they're just gonna do it anyways with their with their own studio.
No, it's not. It's not clear whether they're still going. Netflix is still going through with their terrible live-action remake, because there was news recently that they were changing the ages of one of the main characters to presumably put them in a relationship with one of the other characters for fans. Well, some fans. So it's maybe still in development because the co-creators, the original co-creators, were working on the project. But then Netflix is like, let's do all this stupid stuff. So they were like, no, we don't want to be a part of this. And then Netflix is like, yeah, we'll get rid of you. Who needs you? The people who made this show. So who knows? And there's also a whole bunch of other Nickelodeon content that's coming to, presumably coming to Netflix, like the Loud House movie and a Rise of the TMNT movie. No clue if that's still going to go there or Paramount Plus.
Sure. I have not kept up with any of this.
I keep track of these things.
Yeah, good for you.
Star Trek Prodigy will release later this year.
This looks fun.
Yeah. There's no humans.
There's no humans and the aliens look real cool. I hope it's not just like a bland kids show.
I hope it's, since they're all aliens and I don't think any of them's wearing a uniform, I hope this is another Star Trek show like Lower Decks.
Yeah.
Where they're like, the Federation really sucks. Like, they're the bad guys.
Yeah, pretty much.
iCarly is getting a revival.
Finally. This is all I've ever wanted for that show that I've never watched.
I feel like they're doing this because it's one of those shows where it's weird when it came out, so that kind of humor and that randomness also works now. Like if you do out of context accounts and stuff like that. But they're also probably doing this so we can finally see Carly on TikTok. Which is what everyone wanted.
It's what I've always wanted, obviously.
I don't know, I grew up with the show and I liked it at the time, but you are bringing back a revival of a show made by a presumed sex pest. I don't know if he was actually ever charged with anything.
Oh, God.
Yeah, Dan Snyder. He's a well-known Nickelodeon producer and director, and he kind of made these shows what they are, as horrible as it is to say. Like, you can definitely, in good ways and bad ways, you can see his influence on these shows. So if you bring... Glad that didn't spill. So if you get someone else, the show might not be the same unless they just bring him back. Fairly Odd Parents is getting a live-action adaptation. Now, there are live-action Fairly Odd Parents movies that have already been made.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Starring Drake Bell.
Who did this?
Well, at least in these, you won't have to see Butch Hartman's terrible drawings.
Boo.
Halo.
Oh, I wanted to say that I've never watched Fairly Odd Parents either. So, I really don't have much stake in any of this. I don't care.
I've watched it, so... My stake in this is that I don't like live-action adaptations of animated properties.
What about... I can't even think of any.
Exactly. I'm going to definitively say right now, there is not a single good live-action remake adaptation of anything.
You're forgetting about the Flintstones movie with John Goodman.
Okay, I take everything back. That one's good.
Would you like a Reese's cookie?
I think I will. Those feel weirder than I thought they would.
I don't like that they're like soft cookies. But I mean, they taste good.
It's good content.
Just a little disappointing that they weren't hard cookies. This could be the name of our show, is The Cookie Show. Or we just eat cookies.
It's not taken by anyone probably.
We don't talk, we just eat cookies.
You get diabetes. Halo.
Finally.
will debut in 2022.
Finally, something that I care about.
And something that I don't care about as much.
I love playing Halo. Like, I love the Halo games.
I have played them before.
I didn't play Halo 5 because I don't have an Xbox One.
No, who needs that one? You got 4 others.
And I guess I won't play Halo Infinite because I don't have an Xbox One.
Oh, you need that one. That one's infinite.
That game will never end.
It's
Obviously.
still going forever and ever.
And I remember, I think there's been like a couple kind of direct-to-DVD live action Halo movies. I would have only seen
they're
one.
all animated, I think.
Oh,
Like CGI.
I know there's at least one animated or live action movie. It's got the big sister from Chronicles of Narnia.
I've never. It's been a very long time since I've seen Chronicles of Narnia. I was about to say I haven't seen it, but I have the first one.
Yeah. I don't know why I know that. I also don't know her name. She's probably British.
Also, how many of those movies did they make? No one knows.
3.
But is it?
Yes, and they were gonna make a 4th one.
Can you name all the titles of them now?
Yeah, Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Prince Caspian, and The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. And then
I only knew the Prince Caspian one in the first one. I had no clue what the last one was.
it's about they're on a pirate ship actually. Well, yeah, I guess it would be a pirate ship. No, they're not really pirates. It's a royal ship. They're on a boat, or a big boat, and then there's a kid gets turned into a dragon. Their cousin actually.
Mm-hmm.
He tries to take some dragon gold, gets turned into a dragon like an idiot. Screw that guy. His name's like Eugene or something.
The worst name.
Yeah.
You know, I'm surprised they haven't rebooted that yet.
They've talked about it because they were talking about like turning the 4th one into a reboot since all the actors are
How does
super
that
old
work?
now. Oh, I don't know. Then not like, you know, it doesn't matter. I don't care. It was gonna be the Silver Chair, which I read. I've read the books that the movies are based on, and then I went to read the Silver Chair, and I read maybe like 3 pages of it, and I was like, I don't care.
That seems like the biggest downgrade in history. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Yeah.
Prince Caspian.
Uh-huh.
Whatever the last one was. I forgot already.
The Voyage of the Dawn Treader.
Well, I wanted to say Don Treader, but that sounds like one of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. And then you're like, the Silver Chair.
Yeah.
It's silver.
Let me tell you something about The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I mean, Chronicles of Narnia. That's what the series is called. The sequel, Prince Caspian, is great because you pick up in Narnia something like 300 years later, because it's a magical world that the time moves differently. So the world of Narnia is completely changed, and all the kids are like, oh, this is going to be great because we were all kings and queens last time we were here, so this is going to be great. And then people are just like, who are you? Like, we sort of have fables about you, but, like, I don't care. And Peter Dinklage is like, I hate you all. I'm a dwarf, probably.
And Jesus is a lion.
And Jesus is a lion.
Or a lion is Jesus.
But then Voyage of the Dawn Treader just picks up, like, a month later or something in Narnia. And Prince Caspian is back, and he's like, hey, I'm Prince Caspian. Like, you should have stuck with the centuries later motif to see how weird this world gets. That's my rant on the Chronicles of Narnia.
A very viable franchise in 2021.
Yeah.
I mean, that just seems like Netflix would have, like, done something with it at this point, or somebody.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they haven't redone it.
Because it seems like that's a, like, TV show kind of thing. Like, I mean, I guess they did it well enough for movie-wise, but
Yeah.
I assume there's more for...
It probably would work well as, like, what they're doing for Lord of the Rings. Or, I was thinking Game of Thrones. It's just because it's, like, fantasy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, I did watch that one Doctor Who episode that was probably called The Lion, the Witch, and the Doctor.
That's dumb. Did you
It's
see
the
that?
Christmas special.
Did you see that Stephen Moffat is making a Time Traveler's Wife show?
What everyone wanted.
I can't wait for the Time Traveler's Wife to be the best person in the world, and everyone loves her.
Mm.
And she can do everything.
And she cheats death 500 times to where it doesn't even matter anymore.
Yeah. And she has a sonic screwdriver.
Yep.
And a phone booth that's bigger on the inside.
Does anyone even watch Doctor Who anymore?
No. I don't even see things on Twitter about it. Like, nobody watches it.
I actually think I watched the first season of the 13th Doctor, and I cannot tell you a single thing that happened in it.
I didn't. I stopped like halfway through Capaldi, I think. Alright, let's move on with our show now.
Yeah. Back to it. Oh, good. I have good news.
Oh,
I have the good news.
thank the Lord.
Exactly.
Oh, my word.
That news is the return of Christ himself. A reboot of Frasier is in the works.
Hallelujah.
With Kelsey Grammer returning.
He's back. He's back, everybody.
I'm calling it now. First episode, Frasier gets canceled.
And
Like, not the show, the person.
Yeah, I know. Frasier Crane gets canceled. On air, on his podcast he probably has now.
Here's the scene. Frasier's in, like, a Starbucks.
Yeah.
And he's, like, getting a coffee, and he, like, screams at some poor girl. And then it's, like, Frasier goes crazy at this girl. And the girl's probably, like, some different ethnicity, so then Frasier gets called racist.
Yes.
And then Frasier says...
Or a transphobe.
Yeah. And so then the whole first episode is just Frasier getting canceled. Or, second option, Frasier starts a podcast.
Do you think there's no way he won't have a podcast. Like, who listens to radio anymore? Do you think that they'll stick with the, like, different segments of the show? Because you know how each episode will be in, like, 3 different segments? And have a title for each segment?
And also 3 different sets.
Sure.
The same 3 different sets each episode.
Yes.
Well, it depends on who you get to do this, because this seems just like I'm in it for the money kind of thing. Also, I don't know who in the cast is still alive besides... I already forgot his name.
Kelsey Grammer?
Kelsey Grammer.
I feel like his brother is.
Is David Hyde Pierce still kicking?
Yeah, he's been around. I've heard that name.
Also, there's probably going to be a very, very sad Cheers reunion episode with, like, 3 people.
Ted Danson.
Kelsey Grammer.
John Ratzenberger's still around. I don't really know what the cast of Cheers is.
So just them 3.
3 of them.
And they're just in the Cheers bar crying. So yeah, cancel all of their content because we have Frasier.
And cancel Frasier Crane.
Yeah.
Himself.
Unless they just actually make him racist. Like, time has not been well to Frasier Crane. I mean, I didn't watch all 12 seasons, so who knows? It could have taken a very dark turn near the end.
We were watching it through, but then I think we didn't even get past the first season. But obviously, it is the greatest show of all time.
Also, there's going to be tons of hipster jokes.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's currently set, well, presumably it'll be in Seattle.
And millennials.
Yeah. A 3D animated revival of Rugrats is coming later this year.
I also never watched Rugrats.
I haven't watched much of it, because that was a little before my time. That was, like, early 90s.
The only things I care about on this list are that the movies distributed by Paramount will be on Paramount Plus, like what they do for HBO Max. For the Warner Brothers movies. I'll watch Star Trek Prodigy, at least the first episode, but then if it's just a bland kids show, I'll stop. I will watch Halo, I guess, unless it's bad, and I will watch every episode of the Frasier reboot.
Oh, we're definitely going to do, like, a watch party thing with Frasier.
Yes. We will do what we do for WandaVision, where we review every episode of Frasier.
Unless it goes another 12 seasons.
No, that's fine. We'll just keep doing it. Trailer trash time, everybody. We're going to talk about trailers. We had Spider-Man No Way Home, sort of. It wasn't really a trailer. But there was a title review. And we also got a few stills from the movie. And it looks like Peter and MJ and Ned are in the Sanctum Sanctorum. And you can see Doctor Strange's head shadow on Peter's chest. I don't know why they released that still. But so what I'm thinking is after Peter gets his identity not stolen.
Stolen.
His identity stolen online. He had to cancel all his credit cards. After he got his identity what word am I looking for? Revealed?
Exposed.
Exposed? Not clickbait? Story time?
Gone wrong.
Gone wrong, gone sexual. By not Mephisto, freaking Mysterio.
Close enough.
These names are way too dumb. They, the three of them go to Doctor Strange because Peter is like, maybe we could get Strange to fix this with magic. But Strange is maybe dealing with the fallout of WandaVision, depending on how next episode goes. He's like casting spells or something to kind of fix the multiverse. And then somehow the three of them mess that up and they get scattered throughout the multiverse, hence the title No Way Home. I also think that Andrew Garfield will be a big player in the movie. Tobey Maguire, not so much. I think if what I'm saying is happens, which it won't, then Tom Holland's Spider-Man will get shot into Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man's universe.
Well, I would prefer Tobey Maguire more over Andrew Garfield unless they can find a way to redeem his Spider-Man.
I watched the original Spider-Man movie, and it is not good anymore. It has not aged well whatsoever.
I think it's good for what it is. Like at the time.
At the time, it was good, but Tobey Maguire's acting, especially, that's the biggest. Well, that and the CGI, I guess, but you can't really fault the CGI. Acting is just acting. I guess maybe like back in the '60s, acting was just kind of you're stoic and then you yell and then you're stoic again.
That's what was movie
if you're
made
a man
in the 2000s.
Yeah, but this was 2000s. Like they've kind of perfected acting since the 70s, I would say. It depends. Well, like you can be a good actor in any of the movies from the 70s, but in the 60s, for the most part, like especially if you're like Charles Heston, is that his name? Yeah. From Planet of the Apes. Then you're just like talking real quiet, and then you blow up for no reason, and then you go back to real quiet. Or you're like a James Bond kind of savvy, just walking around and silent up to people.
To be fair, those worked for the movies that they
I know.
were in.
But we don't count, like, I wouldn't consider that good acting. That's just standing around and talking. But Tobey Maguire is not a good actor in Spider-Man 2002. He doesn't move his face at all. And not even his lips move very much. It's ridiculous.
Still think it's better than The Amazing Spider-Man.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm probably going to watch it after I finish the Spider-Man trilogy. Do you have anything to say about this?
Well, the title is intriguing because something bad's going to happen to somebody in this movie. Like, No Way Home, that means something for somebody. Either, I feel like it'd be, no offense against him, I feel like it'd be pretty low stakes if it was just Ned never comes back. Like, I like him, but like, if Ned being lost in the multiverse was the worst thing to happen, that's not a...
That would be so fun. He gets sucked into the multiverse, and Peter and MJ and Strange all look at each other, and they're just like, it'll be fine. They keep moving.
But maybe it's MJ. Well, Zendaya.
I think if any of them get sucked into the multiverse, it would be all three of them, if they're all together. Or just Peter.
Since he's the one with the power.
But I would like to see MJ and Ned get more play in this next movie.
And Ned can see how he's not in any of the other Spider-Man universes.
And MJ is like, what? This is weird. How's your name Mary Jane? And then she'd make a weed joke.
Yeah.
Because that's the kind of character that this MJ is.
Yeah. I'm surprised she's still in this franchise.
Really?
Well, it doesn't seem like Zendaya's kind of thing anymore. Like, she's doing stuff like Euphoria.
And Malcolm and Marie, which is not a good movie.
Like, it's just kind of weird that she's playing these, like, adult, well, I guess, I don't know Malcolm and Marie, but, like, older characters, but then she's also in a movie where she's supposed to be in high school.
Isn't she in high school in Euphoria?
I thought she was, like, an adult in that one.
I don't think, well, I
haven't watched Euphoria.
Yeah. But from what I understand, she's in high school, and it's all about how high school sucks.
I mean, she still looks like she could be a high schooler. Like, she doesn't look old.
That's another thing about Spider-Man 2002.
Everyone's 30.
Everyone is 30 years old.
Like
in that movie.
Joe Manganiello.
Manganiello. Yeah, at the beginning, they're having a field trip at the Science Museum, And the teacher is like, all right, everybody, come on. But, like, you can't tell that he's the teacher because he's the same age as everybody else in the class and shorter than most of them.
And
It's
personally, I think
so
that adds to
dumb.
the charm. Like, makes it real camp and cheesy, which is why I love those movies.
Yeah, that's fair. I understand that, like, it's heralded as a classic. And I'm not saying that it wasn't good at the time, but I just don't think it's aged very well at all. Willem Dafoe's good in it, for the most part.
Wish they gave him a better costume. But
Yeah. Also, of course, what's his face? J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson is the perfect casting.
And their Uncle Ben is probably
Yeah.
the best we've had so far.
Oh, definitely so far, out of the two that we've had live action.
And their Aunt May's pretty good too. She's better in the sequel though.
Yeah. I do prefer Marissa Tomei. I think
Yeah.
she's really good. I don't even remember
Who wasn't
Andrew Garfield's Aunt May.
I think it was Martin Sheen for Uncle Ben.
I don't even really know who Martin Sheen is. I'm gonna be honest.
Charlie
with
Sheen's dad.
you. Whoa.
Yeah.
What about the guy that was the angel in Good Omens?
If it was him, that would be a much better movie.
His last name is Sheen, I'm pretty sure.
I think the scene is like in Amazing Spider-Man. The scene of Uncle Ben getting shot is intercut with Peter Parker buying some chocolate milk. Or like it happens at the exact same time.
Actually, yeah, I think so, because he might get shot across the street from where Peter is buying chocolate milk. Anyways,
Good stuff.
that's enough Spidey talk. Luca, which was very surprising because I wasn't expecting this kind of like cartoony animation.
I have heard some people say it looks a little bit like Aardman, and like that's
Aardman?
kind of true. Like
Yeah, I could see that.
because like the characters are more round,
Yeah.
even their teeth. But it's still like unique on its own. It's definitely the most different thing Pixar has done recently. Like Soul
Yeah.
was animated well, but like
The same kind of like overall style.
yeah,
Like Soul's animation is striking and beautiful, and is definitely like the best that they've done so far, especially with the New York stuff. But this looks a lot more like kind of Cartoon Network kind of vibes, I would say,
colorful and more vibrant in their movements.
and more exaggerated features, especially when how the two little boys, when they get wet, they turn into sea monsters for some reason.
This movie is about the greatest sea monsters to ever exist. Italians. Pixar was always scared to get to them. They knew they were going to have to do Italians eventually, but they were always scared to do it.
Mamma mia.
And they're like, let's do every other culture first, and hold off on the Italians as fast as we can.
Here we go again.
Because is there any other movie in the Pixar plane of existence that features any Italian anything besides Cars?
Probably one of the. Oh yeah, Cars, of course. Linguini is his name, and Guido, and Francesco from Cars 2. Why do I know that?
Well, it's probably because his color scheme is.
He has, well, yeah, but also, yeah, his color scheme is the flag. You know who plays Francesco? As far as I can remember, it's it's Jesus from or Jesus. I think he's called Jesus in the Big Lebowski. I almost said Big Sick. His name is. He's also and Adam Sandler's rival in You Don't Mess with the Zohan.
A classic movie.
And he's going to be Carmine Falcone in The Batman.
What a career trajectory.
I know. What's his name? Oh, I have to bing this. Hold on.
Is he the one who got his own spin-off?
Yeah.
The Jesus Rolls?
Yeah.
The movie that no one watched. There's going to be plenty of Italian jokes when we get to this movie, which is going to be the best part.
John Turturro.
Oh, yeah. John Turturro.
Yeah. He plays Francesco. I'm pretty sure. Probably should have Googled that instead of what his name is. Yeah, so Luca looks really good.
And obviously, the two boys with a very close relationship. The whole them being fish people is a metaphor for them being Italian.
This Luca looks like a cross between The Shape of Water and Call Me by Your Name.
Which is not the best descriptors for a kids movie.
No, neither of which are.
But it looks good.
It does look really good. You know what also looks good?
What?
Army of the Dead.
Didn't watch it, so I'm gonna say it does not look good.
It does, aesthetically, it looks good. Like, it looks real colorful and fun.
Okay, tell me this. How funny is Chris D'Elia in the trailer?
He's not in the trailer. Unless I missed him, but I would have known if Chris...
Outrage.
More like Chris de Pedophilia. That's your joke.
Yeah.
I shouldn't take that.
Well, I
Although
typed that out. I didn't say it ever, so
I did
it's fine.
say it, or I did send it to somebody that you don't know, so I could take credit for it. And then he was like, "No, it's not." And I was like, "No, but he is though." Army of the Dead is, I believe, a sequel to Dawn of the Dead.
Could be.
I don't even know. Because I'm pretty sure Zack Snyder did a zombie movie.
He did. It was Dawn of the Dead.
Well, then yes, it's a sequel to Dawn of the Dead. I couldn't remember what it's called.
It was a remake of the original Dawn of the Dead. And Night of the Living Dead by George Romero has a billion other sequels that he himself did. So that's kind of what this series does.
Yeah.
You got Nights, Dawn, Diary, Video, whatever.
So Army of the Dead is a sequel to Dawn of the Dead, which is
or
the
a prequel.
remake. Could be. I haven't seen Dawn of the Dead. I'll probably watch it before this comes out.
I won't.
I don't know when it comes out.
Is it on Netflix?
Yeah, it's going to be on Netflix.
So what happens in the trailer?
I don't remember. It doesn't really give you much of the plot so much as like what the movie's gonna be.
I thought it was supposed to be like a heist or something, or like set in a bank.
I don't know what they would be heisting from because everyone's a zombie. There's a really cool shot of like the entire shot is filled with zombies and there's a bus coming through and all the zombies are trying to get in the bus.
And maybe it's set in Vegas. I thought something like that.
I probably should have paid more attention, especially since you didn't watch it. What else? Dave Bautista looks real cool in it. There's not really any talking in it either. I think there's like one line at the end, which is a joke that I don't remember.
But
yeah, I said before the show that it looks like what Suicide Squad tried to turn into, but good.
For all it's worth.
Yeah. So that's all of our trailer trash talk. And now it's time for WandaVision, episode 8. It's called Previously On because we get to see a retrospective.
What was going on previously on Wanda's life.
Wanda's Vision life.
Yeah.
Also, I just remember what game I had thought of. It's retrospeculative.
There it is.
Because
we get to see Wanda's vision of her life.
Of her life. And also, we get to watch Wanda have a vision through the Mind Stone. Full spoilers of WandaVision. Episode 8, previously on, whatever. There's really only 2 main players in this. It's Agatha and Wanda. And Vision a little bit. And Hayward a little bit, I guess.
Which, more Catherine Hahn is always a good thing.
Yes, she's really good in this episode. I like when she makes fun of Wanda's accent. She's like, that really comes and goes, doesn't it? So yeah, we open with Wanda.
We start with a Salem witch trial.
Oh, yeah.
Like an actual, not the one where they burn witches, but a trial in Salem held by witches.
It's a Salem witch trial.
Because that's what it opens up on. You think it's Agatha going to be burned at the stake, but it's really her coven being like, you got too much purple magic. Stop doing that.
All our magic is blue. Your magic's purple.
That means you're evil. But there is a kind of thing where maybe she's not as bad as she says, because she is pleading with them, because she knows they're going to kill her.
Oh, that was all a fake. Definitely. Because her mom is like, shut up. Her mom basically just tells her, stop whining.
Her mom was, I guess, the queen of the witches.
She does get a weird crown on her head that I liked, but I didn't understand.
Also like seeing this different magic.
Yeah.
Like, it still is just shooting lasers, but like, it's different from what we've seen in Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
So it makes it seem like there is more magic to this world.
And you get like yellow circles around your hands.
So, and typically, Agatha Harkness in the comics is an old woman,
Yes.
which she probably would be if she hadn't have killed all her coven and drained them.
Yeah. So I guess she's just been doing that for hundreds of years.
Because she has the costume, like, she has the brooch and everything.
Yeah.
If she was just older, she would look exactly like Agatha Harkness.
I guess she's just drained. You know what? I think by the end of this show, she is going to like age to her regular age, and we're gonna see like a comic accurate Agatha Harkness.
And then she'll die.
And then she'll die, unfortunately, because I want her to stick around.
And then we get to the Wanda stuff, because this entire episode is Agatha trying to see why Wanda is so powerful.
Yes. So we get 4 main flashbacks. First one is when she's a kid.
The one that everyone thought of, which is Wanda loves sitcoms,
Yeah.
because it was a family activity they did while living in the literal worst place in the world.
Yes. It's a little weird that her dad was trying to sell DVDs in the middle of a war zone.
Well, you gotta make money somehow.
Everyone's just like, he's like, hell, you want to buy season 3 of Malcolm in the Middle?
Well, no, see, he had all 12 volumes of Frasier. So that was a hot ticket item.
12 volumes
In
as
fact,
well.
that was what the war was about.
Is over who gets
Yeah.
all 12 seasons of Frasier.
He had the only Sokovian and American copies of Frasier.
They turned each other's brains into tossed salads and scrambled eggs, if you know what I mean.
Got him.
And then they're watching Dick Van Dyke, and then their parents get blown up. A bomb lands in their house and just kills their parents out of nowhere, which we knew was coming because of Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
It was still rough to watch.
And it's revealed that, because what we were told before this, because they never clearly defined Wanda's powers before this.
Well, they still haven't really.
Yeah.
Well, then never mind, they have.
Is that the Stark bomb was just a dud. But in this episode, we were told that what Wanda was really doing, like in the comics, was affecting the probability of the bomb. Because the Weekly Planet made a good point. Like, all Stark stuff works. Like in the MCU, every weapon, every torpedo, whatever he made, it works.
Yeah.
So, like, there's no reason it wouldn't go off. So she just affected the probability of the bomb.
Plus, like, Agatha points that out.
Yeah.
She's like, so did you magic it to stop? Or something like that. Probably shouldn't have stopped that memory before she did it. Could have just let the memory answer your own question.
Well, she didn't know she was a threat, like a big threat, until the end. Because Agatha didn't know what was going on either. She just thought that, like, Wanda got lucky and, like, happened into her powers through, like, the Mind Stone.
So Agatha showed up because she's like, there's a lot of magic going on here. Which begs the question, where is Doctor Strange?
He's really bad at his job.
Why is he not on top of this? Why does Agatha know about this, but Strange does not?
Yeah, as soon as Wanda does the whole red energy coming out of my body thing, that should have been Doctor Strange opens up a portal and, like, drags her in.
Exactly. Or even when she made it bigger.
Yeah, like he should have just teleported there.
Yes. Like, what is he doing right now?
It could be like a or Doctor Strange 2 thing.
Uh-huh.
Like, we might open with that movie and he's, like, fighting a demon or something in another dimension. And then he gets back and he's like, oh, the multiverse exploded.
And he's like, I gotta deal with this now.
You know, well, he might be on vacation, and so is Wong. They're like, I did Endgame, I solved the billion possibilities.
Wong's just happy that he doesn't have to buttle for Doctor Strange anymore. Although he doesn't really do that in the MCU.
Yeah.
In the comics, Wong is basically Strange's butler, who also knows magic.
And who's better than him in everything.
Good, he better be.
And that's in the MCU, too.
Yeah, pretty much. And after that, they go to Hydra, where she unlocks the Mind Stone, and she does this weird, like, vision, not the character vision, but she has a vision of herself, I guess, or, like, the Scarlet Witch persona, which is kind of her more comic accurate suit, which you kind of see in the poster, her character poster for the show. And
it's like a mixture of her comic accurate costume and kind of her current costume.
Yeah,
in the
her
MCU.
MCU one that she walked out of the hex in a previous episode. Which is weird.
Well, I mean, she can just make clothes.
That's true. Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Because I had assumed that that's just what she was wearing when she made the hex, but she wasn't. She was just wearing, like, regular clothes.
Well, that might just be what she wears when she's not as depressed and wants to make a statement.
Well, yeah, she was trying to be intimidating.
Like, here's my superhero suit.
I'm gonna superhero all over you. And then...
We see her go to Sword.
Oh, yeah, wait, first of all, Agatha says that the Mind Stone unlocked that which would have died on the vine. So, like, it magnified powers that she already had, but would have just kind of dissipated if she hadn't used them, which she wouldn't have because she didn't know about them.
Yeah.
And we don't go to Sword yet, we go to Avengers Compound.
Oh.
Where
and I think this is before. We get clarification that Pietro is not an illusion.
Oh, right, yeah.
It is...
Well, Sword, it's still vague. Because at the beginning, Agatha says that he's not the real Pietro.
Yeah.
But she says something like crystallitic possession.
And she's like, eyes and ears.
Yeah, she says that he's her eyes and ears. Like, she sees and hears through him and talks definitely through him.
And she can do necromancy, but there's limitations, at least in the MCU. Because she mentions, like, points out that Pietro, the real one, is on Sokovia, I guess.
Well, yeah, he would have been buried there.
And has holes full of him.
Yeah.
So she couldn't necromance him back.
But I feel like the biggest thing was that he's on a different continent. I think the holes in him was just kind of like, yeah, you know what, probably better that I don't use him. So I think there's still a good chance that she pulled this Pietro, but his name is Peter, from the X-Men universe and is controlling him that way.
Because there's still the matter of the super speed. Like, unless that's just an illusion.
Yeah, it could just be her, or it could just kind of be in the hex as well. Like, that's what the super speed effect would look like in Wanda's reality. Yes, because, yeah, we're talking about the super speed effect is not the same as X-Men Quicksilver's. It's more along the lines of MCU Quicksilver's, who has, like, the blue trail behind him when he runs.
But still a lot of work to do.
Yes.
Like, to make them, because Wanda wouldn't be like, do super speed to prove you're my brother, or whatever. And, like, most of the time in the hex, she just seems confused.
Yeah. So in the Avengers compound, Wanda's watching Malcolm in the Middle. Bryan Cranston does a funny thing.
Yeah. Stuff falls on him.
Stuff falls on him. It's very funny. And then Vision walks in, and they have a really, really good conversation. And the best line from the show, and from, in my opinion, the whole MCU, is, "What is grief if not love persevering?" And
yeah.
Frick, dude.
And that definitely seems like a line they're going to bring back next episode when Vision's like, you know, I could stay, but I'm going to go. And, like, ascends to heaven. When he says the line, Jesus is calling me.
Do you think the Vision believes in God?
Well, when Jesus calls him, he will.
I guess.
When he says, superhero Jesus is calling me.
Oh, man. That's obviously the Sentry. Superhero Jesus. Oh, no, friggin' Adam Warlock.
Or Jack Kirby, because he is God in the comics.
Yes, that's true. He's also a real-life writer and artist for Marvel, or was. What happens next?
So after, I'm just... Sword, I guess?
Oh, yeah, Sword.
So, what we were told before by the director of Sword is that Wanda came in, busted in, took the Vision. And, like, that seemed reasonable at the time.
Yeah.
Because she was upset. But what we actually see is Wanda did go in there, and she did seem upset, and she did break the glass. And the director at that time seemed nice. It seemed reasonable, at least, because, like... he did make a good point. He's like, if you bury the Vision, that's $3 billion of vibranium.
Yeah.
Someone is definitely going to dig him up and, like, make an Iron Man armor of him or something.
He didn't say that specifically, but you can infer that, yeah.
So, I mean, it's still kind of rude to cut him up in front of him. He could have said, hey, guys, can you stop?
Yeah, like, when he was like, let me show you something, I was like, what are you doing?
He's like, here's your husband
you
being
idiot.
cut to pieces.
Your dead husband in pieces. Also, I didn't know that they were married before WandaVision.
Yeah, because in Civil War.
Civil War?
Yeah.
They're married in Civil War?
Yeah.
What?
I'm pretty sure.
I would have thought they got married before Infinity War, like in between Civil War and Infinity War.
Oh, wait, no, yeah. Infinity War, I meant.
Oh, okay, yeah.
When they're on the run.
Yeah. I just didn't know they were married.
Well, you know, once he starts wearing clothes, that's when you know they're married. When he stops being nude.
When the passion dissipates, that's when you know that you're married.
Ball and chain. But no, what Wanda was actually doing was, and what the director meant, even though he was doing it in the stupidest way possible, was to send her down there so she could sense and...
Not even send her down there, just, like, look at him and say goodbye.
So she could sense and be like, yeah, he's not there. Like, there's nothing of him left. This is just...
Because in Infinity War, their whole thing was like, I only feel you. You don't only feel him. You feel other things. You can feel the grass. You feel a tree.
And again...
Felt Thanos punch you in the head.
Got him. Big hole in your head. Also, Wanda's going to probably be more depressed now, because if she'd known she was the Scarlet Witch, the most powerful witch to exist or whatever, she probably would have just, like, cut Thanos in half with magic or something.
Well, she said...
Or put Thanos in a sitcom.
Look, I feel like necromancy is only a dark magic thing, because she says that she can't bring things back to life.
Well, that she knows of.
Yeah, I guess so. She can create new life, as in the Vision and her children, and I guess the dog. Unless the dog was already there in the town.
It might have just been.
How did that dog show up? Oh yeah, the kids brought it in.
Maybe it's a spy.
Put it in a sink.
Maybe it's Mephisto.
And then but she was like, yeah, I can't bring people back. So I feel like she kind of knows that she had no choice but to create a new Vision. Which is what we see, is she goes to Westview, and then she goes...
Which, interesting thing, after she leaves Sword...
Yeah?
There's the deed to her land that she bought is in the car, but it's not made explicitly known that she bought that land. It seems more like it's a gift.
Well, I mean, yeah, like she...
Well, it might have just been from the Vision. Like
it was from the Vision.
Well, it's just weird how it's in her car, like someone else put it there.
No, she would have... See, no, she would have... It was open, so that means she would have read it, and then she would have gone to Sword to get the body, because she was going to bury it on the land that Vision bought. I
expected someone to be, like, in the back seat of her car or something.
Boo!
It's me, Vision. I'm alive.
It's me, Mephisto. And then she drives over to Westview.
Which, come on, Vision. All you could afford was a terrible piece of land in New Jersey.
How much do the Avengers get paid? Like, they're only
Can Vision even get property?
I guess.
He's like a year old. Like 6, I guess, at this point.
He has a will and testament.
Okay, let's see. Age of Ultron, presuming it takes place.
2015.
Yeah, 2015. He's 10 years old, at least. Because we're in the 2025s now.
That would have been bought before the 5-year gap between Infinity War and Endgame.
So he's 5 years old.
He died in Infinity War, yeah.
So, in the MCU, a 5-year-old can legally buy a house. A plot of land.
Not even 5. 3-year-old.
A 3-year-old.
Because Infinity War was 2018. And Age of Ultron was 2015.
Well, he might have just hacked the city or something and been like, yeah, this is a legal purchase, but...
Sure, yeah. He is a part Ultron.
Technically, a 3-year-old bought a piece of land.
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't know. They haven't gone into how Vision has anything, like,
That's
rights.
the secret 10th episode. Is the long court battle the Vision had.
It's the court battle from Marriage Story, but it's all about Vision's rights. And then she goes to the undeveloped plot, and she opens the letter, and it's a deed to that land, and it's a little heart that says to grow old in, and then V.
Even though he wouldn't grow old. Jerk.
Yeah!
She is. You're
The
not.
heck? Vision, you're a robot. Also, it's really weird that you're a robot and she's in love with you.
Yeah.
I know you're alive, like you're sentient, but like this whole episode, because even Hayward is like, not everyone has the ability to bring their soulmate back online. And he's like, look, sorry, I meant to say alive, I guess.
Also, point out to note, when they're going through Westview, when she's going to her plot of land, we do see some of the characters
Yeah.
that we would see later. Norm is like a pizza delivery guy, I think.
Norm. Oh, I didn't even see Norm.
Yeah. Other guy is like putting up piano lessons. I think we see Herb, maybe.
His name is Phil. Herb, I couldn't tell just because different facial hair and regular hair throws me off on anybody. So I'm never 100% sure if they, like, when they change their style, if that's the same person. But I'm
the
pretty sure it
boss's
was
wife
Herb.
from the first episode.
Oh, yeah, Deborah Jo Rupp. Mrs. Hart, that's right.
But interestingly enough, we don't see Dottie.
Oh, yeah, we don't.
Because she was in a couple episodes, so it's kind of
Yeah.
weird that she's not there.
She was even in the previous episode. You see her for like a second, like snipping her roses or something.
I mean, that could just be nothing, but I just found that interesting. She's not.
I mean,
there.
they don't have to show everybody.
Yeah. It's just
They
out
didn't-
of those, she's
Yeah.
more of a key player.
They
At
didn't
least a
show
little bit.
Mr. Hart. And oh yeah, she's so overcome with depression and guilt and grief.
Explodes.
She explodes and the hex is created. That scene is really, really good. Just even from her freaking out, which Elizabeth Olsen is incredible in this episode.
She is.
Just phenomenal. And she's like just can't take it anymore, and then the effect and the music of the house being built around her, and then the hex going around and turning everything black and white.
And then Vision,
Yeah, and then she creates Vision from herself,
which is either used from residual Mind Stone energy,
which I assume is what's happening.
or just mind energy in general is that color. Like if Vision's just
Yeah.
from her memories.
That's true.
Because we see red energy, but then we see that orangish, yellowish color, and then the Vision's made. Which is also interesting, because when he left Westview, he was disintegrating like it was the robot Vision, like the physical body.
Yeah, well, you don't really see any of the physical body when he's
Yeah,
disintegrating.
he doesn't drop anything.
It was just kind of, it was definitely done in a way to make you think that that's what was happening, but there was nothing explicitly saying that he was turning into the carcass of Vision. And then, yeah, pretty much that just catches you up. And then Agatha is like, good for you. And she disappears, and you hear the kids screaming, and Wanda runs out. And
There's also the rabbit. There's something up with the rabbit.
I think the rabbit is just a weird rabbit.
Well, she makes... She gets a locust.
A cicada, if
Cicada.
you will. Probably just a locust, I don't know.
She turns it into a bird,
Yes.
and then the rabbit eats that.
Well, she throws it, and as she throws it, it turns back into the cicada, and the rabbit eats it. The rabbit doesn't eat a bird. That'd be pretty funny, though. And then,
And no Man-Thing, sadly.
unfortunately, we did not see an appearance of Man-Thing.
There's still one more episode.
There is still one more episode, but I don't think Man-Thing's going to show up.
In a perfect world.
He
Man-Thing
better
show
be
up.
in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And Agatha is floating. She's got the kids, like, she's about to hang them. And then she tells her, she's like, you're a myth. You, like, capable of creation of anything, and you're using it to make breakfast for dinner. You are the Scarlet Witch.
I was really certain she was going to say a mutant.
Yeah, I was too, especially when it said, you're supposed to be a myth. And then the episode just ends. But then we have a credit scene where we get a white Vision.
Yep.
And that's from the comics. That's cool. That's cool.
That's when Vision doesn't have any emotion. He's literally just a robot.
Yeah. He reminds me of Dennis Caleb McCoy from Bill and Ted Face the Music. Also, I think next episode, fake Vision or Fission and white Vision or Vision first of all, we're gonna get some sweet Vision on Vision action, but also I think that Fission is gonna like absorb into Vision
and make Fusion.
But I think they'll become one being, and that's how you'll keep the Vision around after this show.
But if it's the mind Vision, he still might not have his memories.
No, I don't think he would get memories.
So it might just be that the Vision's in this world, but he's like, see you later, Wanda. I don't know who you or am, or I am, and I'm gonna leave.
The same, like it would be the same thing that happened to Groot, basically.
Yeah.
Like you bring them back, but there's still that sacrifice that they made. Because this Groot doesn't have any of the original memories of the original Groot. It's a new Groot, basically, after he died in the first one and became a little baby.
Well, and like personality-wise, it's still Vision, so you could still have him be a hero and other things.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just he's not going to remember anything that he did with Wanda.
Or like Gamora now.
Yeah.
Or Loki.
They can form a little club.
They're doing this a lot with these characters. They're just like, you know what? Let's just reboot them in the universe. What the heck?
It would be funny if, like, the Hayward's master plan, he's like, yeah, let's send in Vision. And then as soon as he enters Westview, Vision just jumps into him. And you're like, well, never mind, I guess. Let's pack it up, Sword. Let's go home.
I think we're going to get some sweet kind of Incredibles kind of action with the Maximoff family.
I hope so.
That would be awesome.
And we didn't see any of Monica.
Nope.
Or Darcy or Vision.
Nope.
Or current Vision.
Yeah, just in that one flashback where she creates him.
Jimmy or Pietro.
Pietro, please.
Pietro.
Fake Pietro.
Agatha did.
Yeah, that one's actually official. It's Pietro.
So that
I bet you felt seen in that. Finally, your dumb make two words together joke that I've glommed onto as well is said in a very like AAA show.
That's all I could have ever asked for. And I hope it continues.
Overall, this is my favorite episode of WandaVision so far. And it has turned Wanda Maximoff, aka the Scarlet Witch, into my favorite Marvel or MCU character.
You know, like, I already liked her in the Vision in comics, but like in terms of the MCU, like this is like they've had stuff to do, but like this is the most that they've done, like acting and character wise.
Oh yeah,
and
definitely.
it's good to see.
Which is why this show is good for the MCU, because you can explore these kind of characters in ways you can't do with movies because you just don't have time.
But that's kind of what all these shows are doing.
Yeah.
Like even with Loki, even though he's already established and we've seen him, it gives him more to do. Sam and Bucky.
Exactly. But yeah, when you have 6 hours to explore these characters, then
And they aren't the headlining actors.
Yeah, exactly. They're not like no one's making a Scarlet Witch movie, but you got a WandaVision show, and it's really good.
Also, I'm probably going to be totally wrong, but I'm calling it now that when Paul Bettany said, I'm excited for you guys to see this cameo with an actor I've always wanted to work with, he is referring to himself as Vision.
As Vision. Though I would very much like that.
But then there'll also be like, it'll be Mordo or Doctor Strange or Wong will show up, and it'll be like, see, I was referring to myself, but then this guy showed up. Though, the guy who plays Mordo, what's his name?
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
He is British, and that Paul Bettany doesn't have to mention, like, doesn't have to be a British actor, but like, you know. And I think he also did like a lot of Broadway and like Shakespearean stuff, and I think Paul Bettany also did.
Probably, I don't know.
So, we shall see. One last episode.
One more episode. Unless those rumors of a 10th secret episode are true, why would they do that? Why would they? That makes no sense.
Unless it's about Man-Thing.
Unless
it's the secret backdoor Man-Thing pilot.
Please. Now it's time for birthdays.
And also, big time breaking news.
Oh, more breaking news.
Should have mentioned it when it came up earlier.
I found my lens cap. I've been looking for this.
And it was on the floor.
It wasn't on the floor. It was under this birthday hat. And I pulled the birthday hat, and it fell on the floor.
So, the huge breaking news that comes literally once every month.
Yes.
From We Got This Covered. Because they have this covered.
They do.
Marvel reportedly, likely, to make Captain Marvel an LGBT hero.
Are they just saying that because of the haircut from Endgame?
That's what they said when it first came out.
Oh no.
I think they say this mostly for the rage clicks.
Yeah.
Like, how dare they?
Get woke, go broke.
Exactly. Also, under Disney, Marvel would never do this, comic book or movie-wise.
I think they would, at least in the movies.
I think it's going to be a long time before we see any LGBT, like, main line character.
I think one of the one of the Eternals is gay.
Well,
But that's it.
played by Joe Russo.
He's back. No, it's Don Lee's character, Gilgamesh, I believe, is gonna be gay, or maybe Fastos. No, probably Fastos, because I'm pretty sure. I don't know this for sure, but I think Brian Tyree Henry in real life is gay, but I don't know that for sure. So I wouldn't be surprised if it is Fastos.
And they probably wouldn't do that in the comics, at least not for real.
Although, I have seen some pretty suggestive panels between her and She-Hulk.
And Jessica Drew, Spider-Woman.
Oh, I thought you messed up saying Jessica Jones.
No. But also Jessica Jones. But they're cowards, so they won't do it.
Yeah.
And then birthdays.
And then there was birthdays.
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday to...
Justin Bieber.
Oh, hey, happy birthday, Justin.
Is he still kicking? No one knows.
I don't know, actually.
He graced us with Despacito.
I don't remember the
And then
last time
ascended
I
to
saw
heaven.
a picture of him.
He might actually be dead.
I don't know. How did he do during quarantine?
Probably bad, I would imagine.
Write in, Justin. How did you do during quarantine? I know you watch this show.
Justin, when's Despacito 2 coming out?
Despacito.
Yeah.
Please.
Happy birthday to Jensen Ackles.
Happy birthday, Jensen. You basically entertained my childhood with all those seasons of Supernatural.
I wish I could act on a show for 20 years and not do anything. Still love you, though.
And he's also going to be in The Boys next season.
With Jeffrey Dean Morgan, I think. He's also going to be in there.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Good for him.
Happy birthday to Lupita Nyong'o.
Happy birthday, Lupita.
Happy birthday to Ron Howard, director of The Grinch.
And Solo.
Ugh.
And I don't know. I don't know what else he's done.
Every picture of him, he looks really sad.
He was also Opie in
The Andy Griffith Show.
Happy birthday, Ron.
Birthday
Oh.
to Zack Snyder.
Oh, happy birthday, Zach. I'm sorry about your daughter.
Well, I wasn't going to mention that.
Now you have to feel bad for saying birthday instead of happy birthday.
Well, it wasn't an unhappy birthday either. It was about as neutral as you can get.
Yeah, that's fair.
Happy birthday to Dr. Seuss.
Oh my gosh, happy birthday. Oh, what's his first name? I don't know. Dr. Seuss.
He doesn't have it's Doctor.
It's Doctor. His legal first name is Doctor.
Happy birthday to Daniel Craig.
Oh, yeah, happy birthday, Dan.
Well, when will he find the time to finally possibly die?
And when will he find all those knives that are out?
We'll never know. Happy birthday to Rebel Wilson.
Yeah. I mean, she's not problematic, I would say. She's just not funny.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I think that's general enough that she's not funny.
But happy birthday, Rebel.
Remember her hit?
Cats?
Yes. Also 2019 movie, maybe?
Isn't It Romantic? Yes.
Yeah.
It was 2019.
I was about to say I Feel Pretty. They're about the same, probably.
No, not I Feel Pretty. Isn't It Romantic was, I believe...
The original WandaVision.
The original WandaVision, first of all, obviously. And also, I think the third date that my girlfriend and I went on. Maybe the second, I don't know.
A very good movie to pick.
I mean, it was out, and it was a romantic comedy. About romantic comedies. It's meta. It was the WandaVision of its time.
Happy birthday to Bryce Dallas Howard.
Hey, happy birthday, Bryce. That's crazy they have similar birthdays. Good for them.
And finally...
Ron Howard and Bryce Dallas Howard,
Yeah.
by the way. That's what I mean, because they're father and daughter.
Is she still kicking? We don't know either.
Yes, she is.
What's the last thing she's been
The
in?
Mandalorian. Well, she wasn't in The Mandalorian, but she directed The Mandalorian in some of the episodes.
And I think the true answer is that dog movie.
Oh yeah, she voiced the dog in A Dog's Way Home.
Wasn't it A Dog's Journey?
No, that was a different one. A Dog's Way Home is the one from 2019.
Was that also 2019?
Yes! 2019 was a weird year for movies. We had so much bland crap.
But also the last year for movies in theaters ever.
Yeah. But also some really good ones, like Cats, obviously,
Yeah.
but also Uncut Gems, Avengers Endgame, other movies.
Yeah. Those are all the movies that came out.
Joker.
And finally, happy birthday
Yes.
to Jake Lloyd.
Oh my gosh! Anakin Skywalker himself.
Jingle all the way himself.
Happy birthday, Jake.
Maybe he got arrested for drug things or murder.
I'm sorry
I'm not
everyone
sure.
hates you because of Phantom Menace.
You weren't even the worst part of that movie.
Yeah, he wasn't. He wasn't good in the movie,
No.
but he wasn't the worst part.
You weren't Jar Jar Binks. You'll always have that. But then again, Ahmed Best didn't deserve anything he got either.
No, yeah, Ahmed Best was pushed almost to suicide because
Yeah.
of the hate. Star Wars fans suck.
Yeah.
They're the worst fan base. Next to, I would say, Snyder fans, just because they berate anything associated with DC with release the Snyder Cut, and now they are. So hopefully they'll shut up. But I know
Oh
they
no!
won't.
Now there's restore the Snyderverse
Oh. God.
and release the Ayer cut.
Oh yeah, for Suicide Squad.
Stop.
Nobody. Why? Nobody cares.
I don't want any more director's cuts. I don't care.
Yeah. Give us.
There was the Donner cut, and that's the only cut that mattered. And now we don't need them.
If anything, give us the Yan cut for Birds of Prey. Although I'm pretty sure she made the movie pretty close to what she wanted.
And the Schumacher cut.
For what?
Batman Forever.
Of course. Obviously.
Or is like 2 hours and 15 minutes of more giant bats.
Give us the.
Is Joel Schumacher still alive?
Give us the Trench movie that we all want.
The Trench.
From Aquaman, that weird.
Not even the release the Trench cut, just release the Trench.
Just give us a Trench movie.
We'll take a trailer at least.
A bunch of squiggly wiggly piranha men just swimming around.
Who were in it for like 5 seconds.
Yeah. That was a good scene though.
Yeah.
Aquaman, the movie, which is its official title, is very, very visually interesting. It's the visuals of Aquaman are way better than the actual movie.
Yep. We're still getting a sequel.
I guess. And not a Trench movie, unfortunately.
But Randall Park is also in that.
Oh yeah, he was. Good for him. Anyways, that was this show,
Ooh.
which we didn't find a name for, unfortunately, except for whatever I said earlier. But it doesn't really fit because I was thinking for retrospeculatively, I was thinking that's more for a show that we would do if we're like talking about more like movies that came out previously, like way older movies. But we don't really do that. At least not right now.
Because old movies are lame.
Yes. Only new movies are good. We haven't even really talked about movies yet, have we? Just WandaVision and Kid Cosmic. But nothing's really come out that I've thought was worth talking about.
I also don't think we've
Let's
watched
see.
any movies recently like around the same time frame to where we
No.
could both talk about them and remember them.
I watched Tom and Jerry, but it wasn't good.
Shock.
Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar is really good.
The Kid Detective is very good.
That didn't come out this year.
Yeah, it did.
No.
Yeah, it did.
It says 2019.
Well, it was like just released on video on demand. So
Well, that's not my problem.
it counts.
Um,
Also, what is time anymore?
that's
Movies
true.
come out.
The movies just release and that's it. And then what else?
Croods?
What's coming up? Oh, The Croods 2 is really good.
Yes.
The Croods: A New Age is what it's called, or as I like to call it, The Toods. Number two.
Attuned Tage.
Okay. And then what's coming up? What movies besides the Snyder Cut, which I will talk about, but
I won't.
he says he's not going to watch it, which is fair because it's 4 hours long.
Kong v Godzilla: Dawn of Justice.
It sounded like he said Dong of Justice.
Dong of Justice. That's the secret king of the monsters, is Dong of Justice.
Yeah, we'll talk about Godzilla versus Kong. I'll talk about the Snyder Cut.
Mortal Kombat.
We'll definitely talk about Mortal Kombat. We'll talk about Black Widow if that still comes out in May.
If it ever comes out. Raya and the Last Dragon.
Oh yeah, Raya and the Last Dragon. That
Comes out next week.
Yeah.
March 5th.
So next week will be Raya and the Last Dragon.
And WandaVision, the last episode.
Finale of WandaVision.
And then...
Also, what was I just thinking of? Oh yeah, we'll talk about Invincible as it comes out as well.
Yeah. And Bucky and Falcon.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I should probably just get a new nickname. Not the one that was when he was controlled by Hydra.
What, the Winter Soldier?
Yeah.
He's kind of owned it.
Remember when they called him the White Wolf because he was the only white person in Wakanda?
It's like when ethnicities take ownership of slurs. Bucky has taken ownership of the Winter Soldier.
And he constantly says slurs in Wakanda, and then he had to leave.
That's why they woke him up, or that's why they brought him to Steve Rogers, because the Black Panther was secretly like, I can't stand this guy. He's so racist.
He is from the 40s.
He's got 40s mentality. All right.
Make that a series. It's just
Racist
Falcon has to show Winter Soldier how times have changed and he can't say certain things anymore.
That's why they don't like each other in the trailer, is because Bucky is mildly racist.
Yeah, when they were in that small car, he was just going off.
But he's like the kind of racist that your grandpa is, where you can sort of excuse it because he's from a different time, but you also are like, oh, grandpa, you can't say that anymore.
Bucky still says Oriental.
Yeah. Alright. That's the end of the show now. Goodbye.
Ooh.